The lotus flower is one of those rare plants that seems to have it all: beauty, symbolism, and yes, even a spot in the kitchen. Most people see it floating gracefully on a pond and think of meditation, peace, or maybe an Instagram photo opportunity. But in many Asian traditions, cooks have looked at those same elegant petals and thought, snack time. The flower is not just decoration for spiritual rituals or poetry, it's edible, playful, and surprisingly versatile. If roses had their moment in desserts and lavender found its way into lattes, then lotus flowers are like the glamorous cousin who quietly shows up and steals the culinary spotlight without even trying. One of the easiest and most delightful ways to use lotus petals is simply as decoration. Their natural colors, soft pinks, whites, and sometimes even deeper shades, can transform the most ordinary dish into something worthy of a five-star restaurant. Toss a few petals over a fruit platter, and suddenly it looks like a royal feast. Use them to frame a bowl of rice, and even plain steamed grains seem to glow with elegance. The petals don't just sit there looking pretty, either. They add a faint floral note, the kind of gentle taste that whispers instead of shouts. They're basically edible confetti, turning every meal into a celebration without requiring any extra effort. But lotus flowers are not content to just stand around looking gorgeous. Steep the petals in hot water, and you have a delicate, calming tea that feels like you bottled up serenity from the pond itself. The flavor is mild, slightly sweet, and soothing, making it the kind of drink you want to sip slowly at the end of a long, stressful day. Unlike some herbal teas that taste suspiciously like boiled weeds, lotus petal tea has a refreshing elegance, the kind of subtle aroma that makes you feel like you're in a spa even if you're just sitting at your kitchen table in pajamas. And the best part? In traditional medicine, this infusion has long been associated with calming the nerves and balancing emotions, so it doesn't just taste relaxing, it actually is relaxing. For those who like their food a little more adventurous, lotus petals can even be turned into crispy snacks. Lightly battered and fried, they transform into delicate, crunchy chips that are equal parts beautiful and delicious. Imagine munching on a flower and realizing it's better than your average potato chip. That's the kind of delightful surprise lotus brings to the table. These crispy petals are airy, light, and carry just enough floral flavor to make them feel exotic without being overwhelming. You can even season them with a little salt, chili, or a sprinkle of sugar for a sweet and savory twist. Eating lotus petal chips feels a little mischievous, like you're indulging in something far too pretty to eat, but that's part of the fun. And while lotus petals are perfect for garnishes, teas, and snacks, they also have a cultural weight that makes them even more special. In many Asian traditions, the lotus symbolizes purity, renewal, and beauty rising above the muddy waters. Serving food with lotus petals is more than just an aesthetic choice. It's also a nod to centuries of meaning, a way of connecting the act of eating to something bigger and more symbolic. Your plate doesn't just look better, it feels more meaningful, as though you're taking part in a ritual that has been quietly celebrated for generations. What makes the culinary use of lotus flowers so charming is how they balance practicality with playfulness. They make food prettier, they taste good, and they carry health benefits, but they also add a bit of whimsy to the act of eating. After all, how often do you get to say, "I'm snacking on flowers today"? It's a story-worthy moment, the kind of thing that makes dinner with friends a little more memorable. And in a world where food can often feel rushed and routine, sprinkling lotus petals into your dishes is a reminder that meals can still surprise us, make us smile, and even make us laugh a little at the sheer creativity of nature. So next time you see a lotus flower floating serenely in a pond, don't just admire it from afar. Think about the ways it could brighten your kitchen, too. Whether it's a gentle tea, a crunchy snack, or a colorful garnish, lotus petals prove that beauty and flavor can work together in harmony. They're nature's way of saying, why not make food both delicious and dazzling? And honestly, who could resist that invitation?